spiritual food for thought. Welcome back to Spiritual Food for Thought. I thank you for joining me once again. I laid down a couple videos recently talking about the law of God versus the law of Moses. I don't make the distinction that a lot of people make there. I have two videos. I'll pop them up one after another over here. You guys can click on them and go see why. I think that even those who claim that there's a difference don't do a very good job of obeying one while disobeying the other. Okay? I think they don't obey the one while they still obey the other. And then there's a bunch of things they do obey and a bunch of things they don't obey. And I think it gets very confusing, which I think is why James says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. I think that it's also very sad that a modern thing a lot of people say is, oh, well, the Bible's not just some book of rules. It's not just some books of, do's and don'ts. And I want you to consider for a moment, if you got a new game, say it was a game you were going to play with your family, and it was a fantastic game, absolutely wonderful, and you got the board and you got all the pieces, but there were no instructions. I think your game would never be even close to what it should be. I think you'd be disappointed. And I think you'd be confused. I think you'd struggle. I think you think whoever put out that game, if they never included any instructions with any version of it that they ever put out, was not a very good company. I think also if somebody had an invention that could do amazing things, but it didn't come with instructions, and you didn't know how to use it, then it becomes worthless to you. If not worthless, then at least worth less. And I think if somebody, made something, created something. Oh wait, God created something. He created us. He said a lot of things to just kind of function as they should. You see it in the animals. You see it in the, I've got a small garden here I brought in for the winter, but I can see it in the plants. I can put a seed in the ground, but I can't make that root go down. I can't make that stem pop up. I can't make those leaves open. I can't make that flower open. I can grab a bee and I can pollinate that flower. But I can't make it turn into fruit. All that's set on autopilot. He created the fruit with the seed in itself. And he set a lot of things in motion, but in his creation, he also created us. And he gave instruction. He gave. It's not just do's and don'ts, but you better believe it contains do's and don'ts. Or thou shalt and thou shalt nots. You better believe it is a book that contains rules. Because what type of creator would not have rules for his creation? In fact, if he's our Heavenly Father, I have 9 children right now. If I had no rules, no do's and don'ts for my children, would I be a good father or a bad father? No, I would be a horrible father if I didn't tell them what they should do or what they shouldn't do. You know what? Back in 2014, I got hit hard by a passage from the Bible. And it was here in Deuteronomy chapter 32, verses 46 and 47, it says, And he said unto them, Set your hearts unto all the words which I testify among you this day, which ye shall command your children to observe to do all the words of this law, for it's not a vain thing for you, because it is your life. So for me to command my children is absolutely appropriate in the eyes of God. In fact, he says it's my life. So if I'm going to think that my own Heavenly Father will not command me on what I should do and warn me of what I shouldn't do, he would be a terrible father. Think about this for a moment. So why is it that people don't want the Bible to be a book of do's and don'ts? Because they want to do what's right in their own eyes. What type of person doesn't like the law? A stiff-necked, rebellious people. We need to have soft hearts. We need to not have hardened hearts. We need to allow God to take out the heart of stone and replace it with a heart of flesh. Why? So that we can have circumcised hearts. You can't circumcise a stone. And although God can write on stone, on tables of stone, he wants to write his law upon our hearts. He wants to be our Father. He wants to be our God. But we should not be a stiff-necked, rebellious people that try to reject his commandments. And if you think that he didn't give us rules to live by, if you think he didn't give us commandments, I shudder at your faith. Do as thou wilt, being the whole of the law, that's Satanism. That's not the belief system that we're supposed to have. No, I have a good Creator, and I have a good Father. And you better believe that He gave me rules to live by. And He warned me. His commandments are not arbitrary. It's not just, oh, if somebody does this, then I'm gonna hurt them. I'm gonna cause bad things to happen. He knows the best way to live life. And He knows that paths lead to destinations. Why? Because He tells us we reap what we sow. So He tells us the proper way to handle our business, to handle ourselves, to live our lives. And the right way to worship Him, the right way to love Him, by walking in obedience to Him. Not everyone's going to agree with me, but I just want to agree with God. His commandments are not arbitrary. He is a good Father, and therefore, He gave us commandments. Be blessed. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.